Hello everyone, welcome to Gosport Railworks. My name is James and today we'll be looking at a LMS Ivatt 2MT. If you're wondering why I'm reviewing it, because I normally do my southern engines, well, this was used in the south. I think it was also used around Gosport as well. I'm not entirely sure of that one. I remember the standard class 2s were, and this is very similar to it because I think they're based off this. Anyway, first of all, let's talk about the product code. This is a Dapol locomotive, and unfortunately I don't have the outer sleeve or any of the other papery bits, but I do have the case, which is better than some of my locomotives. Anyway, the product code is 2S-015-002, the Ivatt 262 tank engine in BR Early Crest. You can get these, I think, in LMS Black as well, which is pretty much the same thing but plain black, and it says LMS. You can get these a little bit mixed up with the similar tank engines of same arrangement, but an easy way to work out is that the Ivatt has its running number on here, whereas for example my 3MT, I think the running number is actually on the bunker. That, and also a few other little details as well. I must stress out that like my 3MT, it is a slightly bit damaged, but unlike the 3MT, it's not the running gear, it's just a little bit of the steps on this side. So nothing really major anyway. I think there's a bit of glue, but no. Again, unfortunately it's a pre-owned tank engine. I like to save money where I can, so anyway, let's talk about the model itself. It is fairly well detailed. It is unfortunately an older Dapol locomotive model, so it doesn't have all the nice little things which the new models have. So the wheels aren't, I think they're not fully blackened. Just tell and check on the lights. It seems they're slightly blackened, but not as well as they should be. The valve gear and all that lot, they're fairly bright. I'm not entirely sure that's accurate compared to the rest of my stuff. They're blackened or darkened at least, but no, it's fairly well detailed where here and there. You've got the handrails, and you've got the usual detail on the front of the smoke box, the smoke box door, that is. It does have NEM pockets, which is a bit confusing for the 3MT. So it's very similar to the 3MT, which is why I'm making a comparison between them. We'll have a quick check of the weight, and we can just pop that in there. And that has zeroed out, so we'll have a quick look at that. And it is 43.9, so it is about, we'll say about 10 grams lighter than the 3MT. So I'll pop that away. But yes, one thing it does have over the 3MT is that it does have, I think that's the brake rodding on the bottom. Not entirely sure, seems like it. However, underside detail is a bit plain in between the wheels, but again, this is an early, well, no, see, it feels like an earlier Dapol locomotive. I don't think it's DCC compatible, as unlike the Faris 3MT, it doesn't really have much on the insides. I think it's just a basic circuit for a motor, really. But yeah, I think I also got this either off eBay or it may be KJB models, so I can't quite remember which one it was, but yeah, nice so far. Now let's get it onto my display turntable, and we can have a look at it in closer detail while I tell you a bit more about the actual prototype. So here we go. The LMS Ivatt Class 2 262 tank engine was a class of light mixed traffic steam locomotive introduced in 1946. The LMS had various elderly tank engines, and the operating department required a new small Class 2 locomotive to replace them, noting that the Great Western 4500 and 4575 classes of prairie tanks had been rather successful. So George Ivatt designed a new engine type incorporating self-emptying ash pans and rocking grates, which were labor-saving devices. The last 30 crew-built engines were allocated to the southern region from new. The rest were London Midland region engines. However, some were also allocated to the western region of BR between 1950s and 1960s, which were sedded at Bristol Bath Road in 1959. They spent the majority of their lives on branch line work. The design formed the basis of the BR Standard Class 2 262 tank engine, which were built to a slightly smaller loading gauge and also have slanted cab sides. These engines also incorporated a full plate and fittings common to BR standard classes, such as the chimneys. The class of 130 engines was withdrawn between 1962 and 1967. However, 4 remain in preservation. And here we are on the test track. Here's the Ivatt 2MT, and here is my test rake of Mark 1 coaters, which are 25 grams roughly per coat, and that's a little more over half of the weight of the Ivatt, which I think was 43 grams or something like that. Anyway, let's get to testing. The track is still a little mucky in places, so you have to take that into account, and also the crossing on the outside is a bit naff. But so far, going around that first radius curve quite well. So have a quick look here, you can see fine. A bit of speed. Doesn't seem to have any issues. We'll slow down and we'll have a go in reverse. That's that crossing, which I still need to sort out. Just trying to remember how much I paid for this at the moment. It might have been my usual £80, considering slight damage. Which actually would be a fair price for it. Unfortunately, you can't actually get this in this locomotive anymore. Over, I'd say £100 would be the rough usual retail price. Got the seeing bits on the track, which that's really clean up. Anyway. Let's get this ready to go on the outside line. So I'll park you there. There we go. I need to use that. Here is the real test on if we can pull this much That seems good. Moving forward. And oh, wait, did I? Yes, I did. I forgot if I set the points properly afterwards. That's going a nice steady 20 on the tracking controller. And as you can see, it's bouncing a little on the crossing, which we know about. Still, I'm not too sure if it is bumping onto this platform. Let's have a look from the other side. There gets the background there. No, it's also crossing. Damn. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a good runner. And I don't think there's any wheel slip. Let's just do... Let's do... No, there's a bit of wheel slip when starting. No, quite certainly. So if we just do a gentle start. This can be... Yeah, gentle starts is the way to go with this. But I think that's pretty much of everything apart from the heaviest of locos. But yes, I would recommend, if you can get one, you're most likely to have a look on eBay. So I don't know if Dapol are going to be making any of these anytime soon, or at least not in N gauge. It might in in O gauge, but speed it up a little bit to get past that crossing. Yeah, like I said, I would recommend if you can get one. I think on eBay they are about around the 60-80 mark, so there's a bargain in my opinion. So let's just watch go round. Do a quick zoom in a minute. I'm a bit concerned about this loco because sometimes Dapol tank engines are a little on the light side and have a slight case of wheel slip. But this is like more than 4 times her own weight, and it's not really having any issues apart from that crossing. Anyway, let's do a zoom in view. There we go. I'll stop her just in front of the camera in a moment. There we go. This is James from Gosport Railworks, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you again next time. Bye bye now.